Hello, people. This is AManDeep from my home studio right now. I am an international speaker, trainer, public speaking mentor, and Amazon bestseller author. If you haven't heard about me, understand that I'm a man who is on a research public speaking, group communication, and that's all I've been doing. For more than a decade right now. I've done more than 600 plus workshops in more than 20 plus countries, generated over more than 10 million pounds for big names like Success Resources, Tony Robbins, Success Gyan, Success Together, and quite a few different companies across the globe. And there's only one thing I'm good at, which is transferring my public speaking skills into my students and how they can, take their existing knowledge and experience and convert that into revenue, sales, profits. Yep, you heard it correct. So how do sales happen? Very quickly, I didn't understand this at the deepest level possible in the beginning of my journey. When I went to Tony's event in 2007, I saw a few thousand people buying his advanced programs. I did some maths and I thought, you know what? Oh God, that's like almost few million pounds he's generating right now. And people are fighting to get his form. He did mention somewhat of 1,000 or 800 people can get it in an 11,000 people room, and almost maybe 2,000 people ran to the back of the room to get the form and sign up. I did also sign up. I didn't have the money that time, but I so much wanted to be part of Life and Wealth Mastery. I did pay the first installment after a few days, but could never pay, for the rest of the program. Anyways, coming back, when I started, probably I had this idea, and probably most people who go to Tony's program, they think they want to become this trainer, shouting too much, with energy, and that will be all about training. It is not. Shouting, making people say yes and all that is a little part of being a great trainer or becoming a great teacher. And when you eventually want to sell, which means, people would buy your programs or your services, your one-to-one coaching, whatever mentoring, doesn't matter, different, kind of funnel you may have. The biggest thing you got to understand, which I now understand for the last maybe 4 years or so. Before that, I was on an ego trip, maybe, obviously did a lot of events and had a lot of massive, results and success. But maybe, deep down, in my intention, I was not really serving people. I was serving, but maybe not at that level. But 4 years back, when I started decoding what I was doing on stage, because some of my students requested me to teach them what I was exactly doing, I had to really sit down and find the deeper answers of decoding what was working for me. So the biggest thing, if you're listening right now, ma'am, sir, if you really want to create a lot of sales and revenue for your business, doesn't matter, what your vehicle is, doesn't matter what your services are, doesn't matter what your product is. The biggest thing you have to understand for a long-term strategy, not a short-term strategy, because sometimes, people, if they live in Asia, because of the way the whole culture is of selling and serving people, it's very short-term. If you want to have a long-term, goal, long-term results, and obviously a long-term mission and vision as well, you got to serve people. If you're doing no service, it will lead to no sales at the end of the day, in the long game, okay? In the long game, if you want to have clients, not customers. Customers are who come in and they go. Clients are pretty much lifetime. They stick with you, they stay with you, and they keep coming back and buying, your services again and again because they get so much value. So no service would lead to no sales. Then no results or no case study would lead to no sales. If you haven't got, some massive results you have created for your students, or how your services have helped, or how your products have made their life better, you cannot have sales. So no results, no case studies would be equal to no sales. That's correct. And also you have to understand, if you are directly in the communication business, which means you communicate in some or the other way for your services and products. If you only communicate from the conscious level, which is your verbal communication, it will lead to pretty much very little sales. But if you can understand in the beginning or be aware of the non-verbal communication, which is the language of the subconscious, and start, getting good at it eventually, if you understand the non-verbal languaging, then it will lead to, massive results and sales. That's my quick, sharing. So there are three subconscious questions people are asking. If you can overcome those questions through a way of story crafting and sharing within your presentation, it will lead to a sale. What are these, top three questions or objections people have in their subconscious brain? Even if they don't know it, they have it, okay? Understand this. The first thing they want to understand, would your services or your product or your vehicle or your topic or your craft, whatever you want to name it, okay? Whatever that you deal in, they want to understand, if let's say you were doing cryptocurrency, as one of my students does, or forex trading, or healing, or NLP trainer, okay? Or you could be an image consultant, or you could be a gardener, helping people with gardening. So they want to understand, would your services or your topic or your crop would lead them to the promised land. That's correct. Very quickly, I hope and pray, that you take me up on learning with me, at a deeper level, and immerse yourself in a class, which will be anything between 3 to 4 hours, and we can, break this piece by piece and show you how it is done. But for now, very quickly, if you can answer that question, that this vehicle, this topic, this craft can lead you to the promised land, they will be going with you for the right audience, for the right target audience. Most people, when they understand that, they will go with you. The second question, which they're asking deep down in their subconscious, which is like, if they're watching me, speak, they go like, AManDeep, you probably were born this way. Oh, you speak so well. Oh, you got some great tonality. You got some great eye contact. Oh, you can be, very comfortable on the camera or on a live stage. Understand? Oh God, you don't understand. I'm a taxi driver's son. Nobody speaks English in my family, and I had to go through a massive journey of overcoming my Indian accent, overcoming my rate of speech, overcoming the limitation where I didn't have any saving to fall on while I kept living my passion on the side. I still did a full-time job and worked on the weekends and extra hours in the evening to be able to speak and do what I do right now. Okay, and obviously I couldn't even afford the mentors sometime. I would do everything in my power to do other things for them so that I can get some time with them personally. Okay, so I've gone through that journey, understand, and this whole bullshit thing, of selling comb to the bald head people, it's a completely bullshit idea. Why would you sell a comb to a bald person where they have no need for your comb? That's not really selling. That's called manipulation. You have to sell it to the people or give it to the people who have a need for it. So coming back, the second question they're asking subconsciously, that you can do it, can I do it too? And if you can really bring it out smartly in your teaching, in your presentation, and if they can see that they can do it too, they will go on a journey with you, which means that they will invest in the future trainings, future courses with you. Because most people are smart, they want to invest in something where they know they will get returns. The only time people are scared when they think they can't trust you or they can't, have the returns thereafter. So people are ready to part with their hard-earned money. We have some students, pay us for the trainings where they have not paid pretty much any trainer. Yeah, I take a lot of pride in that, definitely, because they went into different trainings. They would never sign up for any advanced courses. They would not pay, beyond whatever, let's say $50 or $20 or a few thousand rupees. But when they came to my training, oh God, they went on this amazing journey that they signed up for a program. Maybe they took a little bit of time, they did some research, but eventually they did invest. We have some students who have not invested anywhere else, but they have just invested in our training. And I am very proud about that because they could see the value in the teacher. And the third question, they're asking subconsciously, if you're still listening, and if you want to get this in a way that you can use it for your trainings, is the external factors. The external factors, my parents are illiterate, they live in India. Oh, I still don't have my own house because, when I was getting ready to become a trainer in 2009 or 8 after doing Tony's program, if you know my story, some of the trainers, seasoned trainers, they said, oh, you got to have $1 billion house or whatever, billion pound house. You got to have an expensive car, which is like 50,000 pounds. You got to wear a Rolex. Yeah. Oh God, how would I bring that? Okay. So the third question people are asking subconsciously is that, will my external situation stop me from reaching to that destination? And if you can show them a way, which is possible in most cases, that the external factors can never stop you if you really want to go on that path or on that journey, and you can help them and serve them at that deepest level and give them much more than they expect out of you, oh God, then there is a sale happening, which is not a sale really. It's a trust and it's a communication that people are saying, I want a piece of what you have to share because I know what you're offering me is valuable and it can really change my life, it can impact my life, and can really, make things better, not only for me, but for the people who are all connected with me, my relatives, my family, my kids, my parents, my brothers, sisters. That's what people do, Most of the time people, when they learn and they want to get better, they don't do it for themselves personally. They are selfless people, but you have to be selfish first to be selfless. Yeah. So they do it, so that they can serve their, close ones at a very beautiful level. And when one person's life is changed, it doesn't change only their life. It changes the life of their relatives, their family, their brothers, the sisters, their friends. It changes the life of the whole community around where they're surrounded, the city's life, the country's life, the whole planet gets better when one person gets better. Yeah, it has got a ripple effect if you're listening. And very quickly, a quick recap. If you really want sales, then be willing to serve people at the highest level, at the level, where they don't expect you, that you will be serving them at that level. That's what Tony says. I hope you know about Tony Robbins. He says, every time you show up, give much more than people would expect out of you. And he does. That man can, speak for 40, 15 hours, non-stop delivering value, even from a virtual platform at his 360-degree studio. Anybody here, you're listening and you are a big fan of Tony Robbins, because, I'm a big fan of him. He's my mentor. And if you would like to see him live in a virtual platform in June, an event is coming up, then let us know. Send us a comment or send us a message. It's better. And then we can always, contact you for a very special offer. And very quickly, people who want to get a lot of sales in your life, understand, serve people. Secondly, get results for people through your services, through your products. No results or no case studies would lead to no sales eventually. You have to start with that one person eventually, which will lead to many people following you later in the future date. What I want to share, in terms of numbers, if you want sales, understand you have to make an offer. You got to be okay to listen to offers, and you got to be okay to make an offer. If you want to make offer, obviously you need people in front of you. And why would people be with you if you're not providing any value? So you have to give value, okay? And who do you give value to? Not to the air, you have to give value to people who are going to connect with you. So you need traffic. You need people to come into your funnel, which is you got leads coming in, traffic, okay? It could be paid or it could be organic traffic, doesn't matter. That's a whole different topic for some other day. So you got to have traffic. When you have people coming in, you got to give them value. And when you give them value, then you can always make an offer. And if you make an offer, obviously the right people who can see the value you're offering, they will go with you on a journey. That's very simple, but not easy. It can take a lifetime to decode that and put it in place. So quick, suggestions. Again, there's no right way to do this. You have to do research. I think you could be going into, Facebook groups. I think even there are some LinkedIn communities or some forums, where people talk about calligraphy, people who are interested about calligraphy. So join active groups. The word is active, not spammy groups, okay? Join active Facebook groups. Join those communities, either there, I don't know, on LinkedIn or even on Instagram. I don't know if there's a way you can build a community, or people, who have, you can do a search on Instagram called hashtag calligraphy, because I do this search on hashtag public speaking, and I have a lot of people I follow, who eventually can become my potential clients, or they will become my clients in the future. I follow them, I comment, on their post, and I do that. This again, a technique about organic traffic. I'm not going there right now, but very quickly to your question, where would you find these people? That's the question you might need to ask. I want to teach calligraphy, or I'm passionate about calligraphy, or I know a lot about calligraphy. Where would I find these people? So active Facebook groups, active whatever, Instagram, hashtag those search words are, or LinkedIn, or some community or forum. It could be even a physical live place, where people go and talk about calligraphy. There's a school of calligraphy or whatever. And then you keep adding value to these people who are all interested in calligraphy. And when you add value, then people see you as an expert eventually. And then they'll start connecting with you. And then when they start connecting with you, that's traffic is coming in. And then you add value like the way I'm doing, adding value right now. I've got no, I'm not getting paid for this. Why I'm sharing, all these deep down secrets of closing on an online platform or webinars and talking about these 3 subconscious questions people have. Well, I'm adding value. Some people would go on a journey. That's what I'm looking for. Some people would say, oh, great. I want to go further on the journey and learn at a deeper level in a way that I can implement it, because information is free. Is the implementation where you get paid for it. So they will see you as a guy, as a person who is adding value. And then, you have to obviously bring them in a class by inviting them by the way I'm doing it. And then you will make an offer once you showcase the value, and some people would go on a journey. Thank you very much for tuning in. Lots of love.